Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. Support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys. Head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Sounds good.
Wow!
Alright, get it all out. Get it all out now.
No, I like the idea that we arrive on surfboards every time we do this podcast. Just surf into a cove.
That's what it calls for. Listen, it's Hypecast. We have to hype our asses in here.
Yeah.
And how you cannot arrive more hypely than on a surfboard.
No.
That's true.
Unless the surfboard also has wheels and is a skateboard that just goes direct.
Yeah.
You ride a wave onto land and you immediately just start thrashing on land and doing like sick grabs and grinds and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you
and
do a
then-
backflip back into the ocean and a shark with sunglasses pops out and it's like, yeah.
With a 10,
then it-
just giving
Yeah.
you a 10. It's got a signed 10 on that.
It all has to pull out, though, to reveal that it's all still happening on another bigger skateboard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We're all tiny little hype guys on a massive skateboard
Yeah.
that is also partially a surfboard that is also in the ocean.
It's beautiful.
It's like the ending of Men in Black, only the X Games.
yeah.
Yeah. If only you'd pitched.
X-Men in Black.
If only you'd pitched this idea instead of Turned Down for What's music video. You know, you really could have had something there. You know, just
God, that's a music video.
I use it all the time in class. It's fantastic, you know? Fantastic.
That's great.
They've never seen it. People underneath like 25 don't know that music video now.
Oh,
Right.
that's a shame.
I know. Can you believe that? Yeah.
I mean, I kind of can.
Man, I don't know.
I
don't
understand why it's I don't agree with it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
for sure.
Yeah,
But I
those are
understand
facts.
why it's happened.
Yeah.
Those are facts I disagree with, but I acknowledge they exist. I disagree with those facts.
You respectfully disagree with the reality.
I reject these facts.
Yeah.
I see them. I acknowledge them. I reject them.
Yeah. Yeah. I nod at them at the bar, maybe tip the hat, but then I turn my back to them. I'm not hearing from them. I'm not calling them over.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to fuck those facts.
No, which is what I do with facts I agree with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bone job every time
Those
I
are
see
good
something I agree
facts.
with. Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
what are we doing?
I don't know. I never know. I never know what we're doing.
I'll tell you what you're doing. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Another episode of
Howdy.
Hypecast.
Hype.
Oh, it's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm guest Adam Ganser, who did not need to be prompted. You are welcome, Tom.
Ah,
Thank you.
thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
You're
man.
killing
How
it.
are you?
You're
Yeah.
killing it.
I'm good. Merry fucking Christmas, everybody. You know?
Yeah,
Happy
kinda.
fucking Hanukkah to all of you.
Yeah.
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 All the holidays.
Yeah.
Every
all of them.
holiday, honestly.
Happy Valentine's.
Oh, fuck yeah. St.
Yeah.
Patrick's right up your ass. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's festive season.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's fucking happy Malbosia's birthday to those who celebrate.
Ooh, I'm going to think about that one. That's a thinker, Tom.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
thinker.
He's a thinker, yeah. Listen, nobody will tell you it's not.
Definitely. That's a fact I can fuck right there. I'm fucking that fact.
Yeah.
No one's telling
That's
you
a
it's
fuckable fact.
That
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really like that's a fact I can fuck. That's like your new catchphrase.
Yeah, I can really
now.
sink my teeth into that fact's
think so.
ass.
Yeah. We're thirsty for facts.
Yeah. Listen, we're fuck thirsty for facts.
Yeah.
Love us some good
That is
facts.
Oh yeah, good thick facts.
And we are not going to speak respectfully about those facts at all. We are,
No.
Oh,
we're
hell
gonna be
no. Why on
hound
earth
dogs.
would we do that?
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna ruin those facts.
I don't know. There's a lot of trailers, Dave. I'm scared. I'm very scared already.
All right. Well, let's
Get into this.
jump
Let's
into
get
it.
into
Let's
this.
jump into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I went through the producers and I cleaned up a bit. So I'm just telling people right now, if your name is missing, if you're one of our producers, let us know. Because I did my best. But Patreon is really bad at like that sort of sorting stuff out. And so am I. So combined, we're just fucking wreck.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So, big ol' thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium. Thank you. Thank you to Ryan, the silly money goose. Thank you to Snapper Carr, punches God in the dick. Sure.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you to @NerdNumbers. Thank you to Mike the Lurker and Fighter. Thank you to DJ Finney. Thank you to Dracula, the bus-driving vampire. Thank you to Brockway, loves the meat Millie.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you to Grumblebee. Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid adorned with Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
It's a festive screaming horse pyramid. Let me jump in here. Look, Mom, on a podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to Seismic Charge Noise. Thank you to Deborah's Awesome, Barbara's Great, and Cancer Can Go to Hell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Dave.
yours
Here
now.
we go.
Do you want me to? All right, you want me to do it, and then you can like write it phonetically.
Numino ultra microscopic silico volcanoneosis Jones. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Breezy Ruizy. Thank you to Davey Francis for the revenge.
Thank you.
And thank you to MVB.
Thank you.
Now he's beautiful. He's beautiful. I've seen him.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he's killing
And
it.
again-
He does
Yeah.
fantastic
folks,
art.
He really does.
Yeah. Also, wait till you listen to the whole episode to know if your name's missing. I moved some stuff around, as I tend to do. You guys want to talk about trailers?
I can't
boy.
wait to talk about these goddamn motherfucking trailers, Dave.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I simply
boy.
cannot wait.
We got a weird grouping today. Starting with the Matrix Resurrections. This is it might be the TV spot. I don't know. It's titled Deja Vu. It's a minute long. It is kind of important to talk about because
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like, I would say, and I'm not being hyperbolic, this is like a landmark moment in movies, this trailer.
Sure.
And I'll tell you why I think so. Because they're no longer hiding the cynicism of this premise. Instead, they're going full 1984 and saying like, this is like, it's not exactly the same. Isn't that what you really want? For it not to be exactly the same as the movie you already watched? You know what I mean?
No, it's literally the same.
right, but like
because
they keep repeating there's little like something's changed.
Right.
Like, so they're literally advertising that it isn't exactly the same movie.
Right, but I do think the idea behind this, because they keep saying deja vu, it means they changed something, because the kitty cat from the first one. I think the implication is that is the premise, right? Is that they're getting this constant deja vu because they already did this stuff.
Yeah.
And that has something to do with they're explaining why they're doing a soft reboot in the plot of the movie, it seems like, which is like, no, yeah, it's deja vu. They changed the Matrix, so shit that you recognize is happening again. It also implies that just there's something about the original films is not what they seem, right?
Or something didn't happen the way it was supposed to. Yeah, there's some implication there, yeah.
That's what scares me about it. Like, that particular piece of it is what scares me about this advertisement.
That scares me, too, because, honestly, for all the guff the trilogy gets as a whole, I really liked where it ended, and I liked the idea behind it, that, spoilers, I guess, that they reach a truce with the machine, because it's like the one ending you don't expect for them to actually like find peace. And I hope they're not going to retcon it in a way of like, actually that was all an illusion and the machines are still in control. That would explain though why Neo had powers outside of the Matrix.
Yep.
If they never left the Matrix.
It would.
Yeah.
Matrix within a Matrix is really lingering here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a feeling that's what's happening.
Yeah, that has to be it.
It does make the original films feel useless.
Well, that's the thing.
Which is a bummer.
That's the thing.
We'll see.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to watch this movie, which is this is one of those rare franchise reboots where I'm like, I don't care what it is. I love The Matrix. I'm going to watch it. But like everything I find out about it is like, man, am I going to be just like bummed about movies at the end of this? I hope I'm not. Yeah,
it's sort of... The thing is, I'm where you're at because it also, like, in order for it to happen, it's like your typical, your Die Hard plot or your Terminators where they have to just say, nothing mattered, we have to do it again every movie for you to get a movie, right?
Exactly.
And so, like, it's that exchange is I want another Matrix because, seems fun. I don't care too much about the plot. I did like what they did in that trilogy, but if I have to say, like, okay, do I not get another Matrix or do they have to retcon the plot? I'm sort of on the fence, Normally I'd say just don't make any more, right? Like, that's how movies should work.
But, I mean, I think now having been blasted in the eyes with Space Jam 2, we now are aware of the fact that, like, no.
Hot Space Jam 2 goo right in the eyes.
Yeah, right. Right in the old, the peepers.
Right in the old peepers.
The characters from Clockwork Orange who were in it, might call it. The thing that stood out to me is like, oh, yeah, so, like, none of these properties is ever going to be left to die.
No,
like that's just not going to happen, right?
I think the current trend until we glom onto a new trend, the current trend is nothing matters. The continuity of all these films don't matter. They're not as important as making another. And until that gets fixed, it's going to be like this for a bit, right? And that isn't to say it hasn't been like this for a while, but I don't know. In the case of The Matrix, I guess I just don't mind it as much as other things. Like, you could argue, who gives a shit about Terminator for the same reason? It's like, yeah, make 1 million of them. Who gives a shit? But for some reason, that bothers me more.
I think it's because you're already sullied on that property, and you're not already sullied on Matrix.
That's true. There's a level of exhaustion, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Because with Terminator, they've made so many bad sequels that it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, here comes another.
You don't believe
where
it
this,
anymore.
I'm like, yeah, bring on the bad sequels. Because, yeah, you're right. Because I haven't been hurt by The Matrix yet.
Right. That's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem with this idea. Like, I think you perfectly diagnosed, like, a cultural phenomenon in movies. Like, they throwing meaning under the bus is like, well, that's the fucking fuel that makes movies matter and makes people care about them. So you're doing a real dangerous tightrope walk, studios. Yeah.
Absolutely, because it can really short circuit people, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
because they're brands first and stories second. So,
right.
But like the stories are why they're brands. So, like that's that's what we connect with when we watch the movie.
Right, you make like 1 or 2 really good movies that captures everybody's imagination and are well crafted, and then they basically, they just siphon as much as they can from that and make all these like zombie versions until everybody gets sick of it.
Right.
And it becomes the butt of a bunch of jokes, and everybody, there's a meme of somehow Palpatine returned, and everybody's like, yeah, that was dumb. And then they still keep making them probably.
I hope this opens with the dead speak and Agent Smith or some shit. Yeah, hell yes.
Oh, they must have Agent Smith in this, right?
Yeah, he's got to be in it. I agree.
Hugo Weaving's going to show up, and they're going to have to explain it. I know they're going to have to explain why everybody's older, right?
Well, it looked like some characters aren't coming back as the old versions.
Some characters got Doctor Who'd, like Morpheus is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
Yeah, and I think if I was Larry Fishburne, I'd be like, what the fuck? Everybody else gets to be old. But I'm sure there is a specific reason where they were like, the idea is that like Neo and Trinity, two characters who, spoilers, died in the Matrix trilogy, clearly aged, while the characters who didn't die didn't age. So that must mean something, right? That like dying in the Matrix meant something that they didn't realize. Maybe we'll get Joey Pants. You think?
Oh, I hope we get Joey Pants.
We might. And Agent Smith died too. So yeah, they could. It must be something where it's like they continue to age. Like time. I think time is working differently, right?
So, well, okay. So I'm doing a little Googling, which I probably shouldn't do, but I'm doing a little Googling. And one theory on why Lawrence Fishburne is not in this new Matrix movie is that his character survived.
That's what I'm saying.
The war at the end. Meaning that this Matrix that we're in now is actually a second not a Matrix within a Matrix, just a second Matrix. Like they redid it. That's like
So the implication is maybe that this Morpheus is a product of the Matrix that's reset or something.
That fits
I don't know.
That fits with if we can read the transcript of the architect's speech. That does fit with some of the ideas he was spewing from his gullet.
Yeah, rocketing out of his stupid head.
Yeah, like that does fit with the. There were many the ones, right? And it's a phenomenon. Like so that seems like it could track with Matrix logic.
Yeah. I do think that is the key thing, is the characters that we're seeing aged were the ones who died, and the ones who didn't die are young, and that must mean something.
Mm-hmm. My question is that Orgasm Cake getting a reboot? Because I think
it better be.
That's that's the second most exciting thing I'm into about this.
Mm-hmm.
Neo's back. Where's the cake?
No, it's everybody's
Where's
just
that cum
popping
cake?
Where's that cum cake?
No, people are going to just be casually eating it throughout the entire film.
It's a real pleasure barge of a Matrix trilogy that they're going to set us up for. Oh my god,
oh man! But yeah, I mean, the Matrix was never precious to me, so I like this. Like nothing can make me nervous or upset me about any of this. Like I'm just going to go watch this movie, and I'll either like it or I won't.
Yeah, I would say the Matrix is both precious and not precious to me, which is that like. The thing that's precious about the Matrix is the superficial stuff, the pew-pews and the flipping around and the camera going whoosh.
Yeah.
And that stuff was really cool, and the plot around it was like, yeah, just do whatever you need to make this cool. Like it all serves the coolness.
After the first one. I mean, I think the first one was a genuinely great movie, and then after that, it's like, sure, whatever. Like this is just for fun.
But it all still, like, it wasn't anything too, like, whoa, what if we're all inside a computer? It was like, cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, like that, they'd already been movies like that, or movies coming out around the same time. It still, to me, feels like it all served. And that is part of why the first Matrix is so good is that the bullet time was done more practically than the other ones. And I hope they bring that back because the CGI, it was a problem in the sequels.
You got to rent a lot of cameras to do that, Dave.
Yeah, you do.
You got to rent a hell of a lot of cameras to do that.
A bunch of GoPros or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that was what's crazy is they weren't even digital cameras. They were
film
literally
cameras.
Yeah, it was a strip of film, I believe, that was like in all of the cameras, and so like they only had really one shot at it every time they did a take, right? Like they couldn't go in and adjust it.
No,
I think plan it.
I'm pretty sure it was each of. I mean, I'm not positive. Each of them were rolling, and then they would have to go through and like cut
maybe, yeah.
one strip to the next strip to the next strip from each camera, which is a nightmare.
They're such tiny cameras, though. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. All I know is it was done on film, and yeah,
Right.
nightmare.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like garbage.
That's
I don't
why
like
I'm
that at all.
hoping. Yeah,
It is garbage, but it was beautiful garbage.
yeah.
You know?
My hope for The Matrix is that first movie, that was probably the last time a movie did something that I'd never seen before, which is that bullet time. And they were using like breakthrough technology. You know, bullet time had been around already. And then the sequels kind of lost that because it was just CGI, and it was like, well, this is not like after that everybody could be the Matrix, you know what I mean? Like Blade 2 was doing the Matrix stuff, but it all looked like shit.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, like, at any point you can watch an Avengers movie, the camera will slow down and zoom around them or something, because that's just a thing we can do now.
It's Zack Snyder. Like, Zack Snyder's definitely co-opted it. And also Swordfish utterly devastated Matrix's legacy.
Oh, man.
Just devastated.
Zack Snyder, he's another person who introduced a new technique, which is when 300 came out, he had these splitters in the camera because it was all on film. So he was shooting on like several different speeds through the same lens. And that's how they got the shots where it would suddenly like get really close and slow and then zoom out. That was not digital at the time either. That was like this bullshit film setup.
Which is cool.
Which is cool. So I would love a world where this new Matrix follows that tradition, you know, and gives us something we just haven't seen before. But that's a big ask.
I mean, yeah, it is a big ask. There's been a lot of movies since then that have done film advancement that is noticeable, but The Matrix represented a really memorable, mind-blowing jump in technology and in cinematic presentation.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've seen something that's a jump like that since.
No.
I agree with that.
I think a lot of it, and this isn't a knock against it, but a lot of it has to do with CGI, which is that you can just do anything in a computer, so there's no need to invent something, right? Like, there's no need to make
cheaper.
a new camera rig.
It's cheaper and easier and more dependable.
Yeah.
You know, like you can be sure it's going to work if you do it in post because you can keep doing it till it does work. But there, I mean, you know, like for anybody who's like, that's the thing that they get excited about, go watch Gaspar Noé's films. You know, like he's doing really crazy stuff with camera that you probably haven't seen before. You know, I don't know that you'll like his movies, but they're really cool visually. Right. So I don't know. Try that out. Try Enter the Void. You know,
yeah, go watch Enter the Void.
Try that on.
Try that. Take that out for a spin. You see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm prepared to be sad. I hope I'm surprised by the Matrix.
Yeah. That should be their tagline.
Yeah, it really should be.
Prepare to be sad, hope to be surprised.
I do think it's a really big problem, though, that we are sort of like slowly just accepting this kind of advertising. Like the idea that they're pitching to us, it's basically exactly the same, and that's good.
Right, that used to be bad.
Is a very troubling thing. Right, that's like, again, that's like same is different. Boring is interesting. It's like, wow, man. I don't know. I
feel
find that
like
troubling.
Yeah. It's the same where I feel like an old timer, but when a movie has 10 installments, that was not seen as a good thing. Which now it's just like, yeah, we might make 10.
Yeah, we're on the 26th Marvel film.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it was still like, yeah, every now and then you'd have a Harry Potter where they're like, look, we're doing this. We're doing a whole big series. We have it planned. But yeah, generally speaking, when there's like 6 of the movies, we'd go, oh, shame on you.
Right. I mean, they could have tried to do the Hardy Boys into movies, like just really gone for it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's a 20. That's a 20.
Put those crime-solving boys on the silver screen.
I'll watch 20 of that.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I'll watch 20 of it.
All right, let's
move on.
Talk about this next.
Let's move on.
This is Mother/Android. It feels very Terminator, right? Like even the name,
a little bit,
seems like an alternate title for the Terminator.
Yeah, it's Terminator and Children of Men.
Yeah, plus like zombies. Yeah, almost.
The robots turn into zombies, not into not into like sentient robots.
Right. And I like that because the idea is their skin comes off and there's like a metal skeleton like Terminator, but they don't. All they do is like in Terminator, it's they stick them in a fire. They do something where it strips them down to a skeleton, whereas this they're like falling apart, so it looks more zombie-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say like it doesn't sleep and it will not stop until you are dead. And I'm like, oh, you're just taking the lines from the Terminator. That said, I do really like the look of this.
It looks cool. I
the
agree with
robots look creepy. Yeah.
What needs to happen with that pregnancy for me to think it was interesting?
Robot comes out.
Right. Or like a between baby? Between baby? You know?
Between baby. Yeah, she reveals like you're not the father, it was a robot.
Or she reveals I'm a robot and I can have babies and now this is a halfway baby.
Oh fuck.
A half baby, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised if you just literally nailed the movie.
Well, because like the reason I'm saying that, and I'm not trying to spoil it, it's because like if that isn't it, this pregnancy is irritating. Because it's a cheat code. It's like you know she's pregnant, so it's bad. It's like, well, the baby better matter there. Chekhov's baby better come blasting out of there. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
It's just Walter Koenig comes rocking out of there.
Yeah, maybe she
nuclear vessels.
Maybe she has the baby and the baby falls out and kills the last robot. You know, she like uses it as a projectile.
Baby.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
it does seem like because in Terminator it's like, well, it's the savior of all mankind. I like to hope they're not going to do that again.
No,
so,
I think the babies. Well, from what the trailer looks like, and real quick for all you listeners. It's just like, near future, we have androids that do everything, just as house servants. And then one day they all just snap and start murdering people. And so it's about Chloe Grace Moretz and her hubby have to get to like Boston, I think. They have to travel a couple of days along the East Coast to get to Boston so she can give birth safely. It's like one of the last strongholds of survivors. And they have to outwit these murder bots along the way. So I think the baby is going to be incidental, right? Like the baby's just a baby.
I hope not.
I think this is going to be a what's the you can't talk.
Oh,
you can't talk or
like A Quiet Place or some horse shit.
Yeah, it felt like
I think it might be A Quiet Place where they saw that movie's popularity and they're like, stick a baby in her. That'll ramp up the tension. And so I feel like it is a plot device of like, how do we get them to they want to do something. What do they want to do? Okay, have this baby. Bam. It gives them a reason to go on the road and to face danger, etc. Because they have to leave their place of comfort, I assume, to go out into this world filled with robots. There's a very good chance the baby won't matter.
I'll
see.
I'll feel cheated by that, I think.
Yeah, I like the version because this does feel like the kind of thing where there's going to be some sort of reveal, right? And so the idea of like, oh, I'm a robot. I can see the benefit of that, but
I think pregnancy is the great cinematic reveal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you put it in a movie, there's definitely like period like movies where being pregnant doesn't mean I have to get the child at the end. Like, and I think Children of Men is a really good example of that.
Oh yeah.
I don't need necessarily to see the child at the end. Just, safety is enough. This movie, so far from the trailer, I'm like, that baby feels like it needs to have a plot relevance.
Yeah, that baby's got to pop.
Yeah.
And the child in Children of Men you do see.
Oh, that's right. You do see it. Yeah, you're right.
You're right that you don't need to.
I didn't need to. Yeah.
I love how they do in Children of Men because you're in, like they do the thing where it's like, oh my god, things are like, how are they going to get out of this? And then she's like, my water broke, and it's like, oh fuck, like they choose the worst possible time for her to have to give birth.
Yeah, that's movies, baby.
That's why it's a great. That's why it's a great fucking movie.
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. This could be good.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know. Is this going to be on streaming?
I think it's a Netflix, isn't it?
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I cannot. Man, I don't know what came first. Where it's like it feels like maybe Netflix is putting out movies specifically to be designed of like, oh yeah, you wouldn't want to go to a theater for this, so here it is. I don't know if that's the case, or if that my standards for going to a theater has gotten higher. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's a pain in the ass to do anything now where pants are required.
Right.
You know?
But yeah, these premises, there's so many now. It's the apocalypse plus gimmick, right? Apocalypse plus, but this time they're blank. But this time you can't speak. This time you can't. You have to cover your eyes like that. My fucking God, with Bird Box.
I didn't see that, and I don't feel
Bird
like I
Box
missed out.
was incredible.
Yeah, because they all feel like it's the same thing, right? It's just we need like A Quiet Place got, people loved that, and so there's this feeling of like we have to mimic that.
I mean, there's another like sneaky trend that's going on in movies where like some movies present themselves as not a part of a franchise that they are a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
if this is like a secret iRobot sequel,
It's a secret.
or-
It's a secret sequel to fucking Split.
better AI, or it's a secret fucking Metroid send up. Turns
Yeah.
out she's Samus. You know, what about that shit?
Okay.
I don't know why
or
not.
she has the baby and names her Samus.
Yeah, exactly.
And then puts a little mech suit on the
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, puts a little blaster
Yeah,
cannon on its
like
head.
she gets done knitting it with like crocheting her the mech suit.
And she just hums the item song.
That's what I want. Okay, moving forward.
Oh shit.
Always moving forward. DC League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
This is a kids movie with the Super Pets.
Tom was right to lead with a tone, just a tone of voice there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
like, how
It's
do
like,
I
yeah,
feel
it's
about
fine.
this?
It's like, well, I mean, like the Super Pets aren't a thing, at least as far as I know. Crypto is a thing. So
Okay.
it's like they took Crypto the Super Dog and just made like a kids animated movie about all the Justice League's superpowered pets or whatever. Like Superman gets kidnapped by Brainiac and Crypto has to assemble a team of super pets to save him. It's sure. I mean, it looks fine. It's got The Rock as Crypto. Like, I don't
know what else.
I'd rather see this than an animated Justice League movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, like, what else? What else do you do with Crypto?
Yeah,
I'll tell you-
make a fun kids movie. That's not a bad idea.
It's not bad.
Is-
One note I have is I just kind of wish the animals weren't already their pets.
I don't
You know
think
what I
they
mean?
are.
Right.
I don't think they are. Like they're all
Okay.
animals from an animal shelter, and like
Oh,
I think
shit.
something Brainiac does like leaks super juice or something. I forget it. I'm not sure exactly what's happening in the trailer.
That's
I want-
literally what I wrote down. I was like, I wish they were in an animal shelter and that something happens so they become the pets at the end. Like that's more fun.
I want one like a squirrel whose squirrel parents were murdered in an alleyway, and is the Batman squirrel that just naturally happened to the squirrel.
Well, that's what Batman will do when he adopts the pet. Is he'll
He'll
just
kill the parents.
Right, he'll break the parents' necks and then take the pet home. It's like now
Yeah.
you can be my cat.
Yeah, now you experienced my pain.
Yeah.
Now put on this little suit.
Put
I
on this
made
tiny
for you.
outfit that I had made.
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't I'm
I have several more preserved in glass cases in my cave.
Oh yeah, he burns through Batman pets.
It's
Yeah.
just almost as quickly as he chews through child soldiers. Yes.
No kid. I feel like he probably has tried a lot of different kinds of pets.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's had a bat iguana and like a fucking like a bat tarantula and shit.
Yeah.
he's
He's
tried
tried everything. He's had a bat
He's tried
bat.
it all. Yeah,
He
He's
put a
tried it all.
bat suit on a bat.
Yeah, of course.
That was
the
too
bat
much.
Wasn't
It was
enough.
too much.
The bat wasn't good enough. He had to
Yeah.
overbat
The
it.
bat couldn't cut it.
How fucking terrifying would it be to meet a dog with Superman powers? Like, because I wouldn't want to be defeated by animals, superpowered animals.
Yeah,
That's horrifying.
that really puts you down on the food chain, Dave.
Yeah, because, I mean, they are probably going to eat you afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
First
yeah,
thing you do.
Crypto's not zooming in with laser eyes and not eating criminals after he defeats
Right.
them.
That's what he gets out of it.
He's a fucking demon dog from space.
right.
Like
Right.
obviously he's gonna eat your kids, all the purse
Yeah,
snatchers, just anyone.
Anybody, really.
Really
yeah.
anyone. Everyone at the dog park. He's gonna eat them. But yeah, no, this movie looks fine. Like I'm not mad at this.
No.
This is what kids movies like. This is what you make for kids.
Yeah, this is not.
You know?
This is a good idea for a. This sounds like so fucking corporate, but it's like a good idea for a brand like DC to branch out into animated movies for a general audience or like a younger audience. Like this is a pretty good idea.
Right, since they have to make a movie, like there isn't the
Right,
option
yeah,
that they don't make
not
anything.
making a movie is not an option.
Right,
so
it may as well be this. I agree with that.
Sure.
Yeah, and in this case, it's like you're right. Like it is we got to make a movie, but it's like why not make a Superpets movie?
Yeah.
Like that's fucking fine.
There's
It's better
been, like-
than fucking Paw Patrol teaching kids about dogs.
Yeah.
Like
fucking
you know.
propaganda.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, there's been like comics like this and like kids books like this for this is just a thing they do. So why not do this as a movie? It makes sense.
No, it looks cute.
Yeah. You got Kevin Hart in there. Sure.
Yeah,
And John Krasinski is voicing Superman. There you go.
sure. There you go.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
That's how he gets lost, actually. He's running CIA black ops in Nicaragua. And he gets,
the other thing.
he gets captured by Brainiac in Nicaragua.
When I saw his name, I was like, at least he's staying out of trouble this way. Like, at least he's not doing CIA propaganda.
Yeah. I'm sorry, he's in
all right.
Venezuela in season 2,
Yes.
isn't he? Yeah.
Causing
My
a
mistake.
coup.
Yeah. Fucking overthrowing the government.
Oh, I love that
It's
stupid
what
show.
the CIA does. Okay, we can move on.
All right.
Is
all
this
right.
is this the Jack Ryan show? Is that what you're referring
Yes.
to?
Yeah.
I haven't watched 1 minute of it. Should I watch 1 minute of it?
I like it, but that's because I'm a stupid Jack Ryan fan.
Well, let me put it this way. I've been rewatching Scrubs. Is this an improvement on my life to be watching Jack
Yes,
Ryan instead?
I think so. All
Okay,
right, I would
great.
say season 1, season 2 is sort of like, like
Okay.
season 2 gets away from them.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if there's a season 3, but we'll see.
Sure. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Next trailer is for Santa Inc. This is the sausage party, folks. I never saw Sausage Party.
Tank.
Sant Inc.
Santank.
This is a adult. It's a sausage party. It's I
Yeah.
never saw that movie.
Oh, I
but,
did.
Yeah, I just didn't care.
Well, it also had a really bad scandal around it where they were
Yeah.
basically kind of forcing their animators to work like
Right.
like triple overtime for like shit pay. It was a real bad situation.
So the tagline for this should be like, "We paid them this time." Like,
If they did, I mean,
Yeah.
who can say?
Yep,
like,
who can say?
I don't think Rogan or anyone's ever commented on it.
Right.
I don't think. I could be completely wrong about that. But like,
He's pretty careful. From what you know what I mean?
yeah,
he seems pretty careful.
he
with stuff.
seems to be. So it maybe he has talked about it. So I don't know.
yeah.
Don't know. Let me tell you
Distance
what.
himself from James Franco pretty quick this year. Anyway,
Yeah, but it took him a while to.
Took
do
him a
that,
while,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
there's nothing pretty quick about it.
And
My mistake.
I don't want to judge Seth Rogen.
yeah. We can. What were you gonna say?
I'll tell you what I like about this.
Okay.
I like that it's like very clearly doing the Christmas movie stylings. You know what I mean? Like it's doing the claymation, and there's like just a lot of things that like
And the
remind
plot.
you of those really old Christmas movies. You know, the claymation ones, and I thought that was very cool. Like just to bring that back for an homage, I really dug that.
Yeah, it is also doing a little bit of Rudolph, where there's
Yeah,
a misfit
exactly.
elf essentially. Yeah.
Right.
Where they're like, I
And-
want this, and they're like, you can't have that.
It's
When
an
like
homage.
finding a new Santa is like the plot to like 70% of Christmas movies too. So
Right.
it's
That's
it's identifying a lot of the tropes of Christmas movies and then just making it like an R-rated raunchy comedy. And I don't think it works. Like at least not judging by the I mean, just judging from the trailer. Obviously we haven't seen the film yet, but I feel like the tone doesn't work here. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of outrage on the internet about this.
Really?
Yes, it's everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. Well, apparently, I mean, and maybe I just Googled the wrong thing. They turned off the dislike button on YouTube for this trailer because like it was getting destroyed. Now,
but they turned off the dislike button across the board. You mean like they made it like
I think it was working and then they turned it off, but like, or maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I misunderstood. That's
well, I know
possible.
YouTube changed their dislike system recently to not show the amount of dislikes, but maybe what you're saying is maybe they disabled the dislike button altogether for this one.
I think that's what I was reading. There's a lot of really shitty negativity associated with people's reaction here that I don't need to dignify.
Yeah,
but what is it?
I can probably guess. Well, I mean, it's a Christmas movie coming from Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, so I'm sure plenty of white nationalists are jumping on that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about that.
There's a lot of that. I did read a lot of that. I was very surprised at first, and then I was like, why am I surprised? I guess I don't know how to exactly engage with this because I don't like this.
Neither do I. It's like that's, and I'm not like a prude or anything, and I don't care about Christmas. It feels like not quite the right fit.
Well,
like there's not a lot of successful raunchy Christmas comedies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you what my issue is because whatever I assume there's a lot of like. Oh, this woman, it's all about how Santa's so white, and there's probably oh, this wokeness or whatever. I don't give a shit about any of that. I think the plot's fine. I have the same issue with this as Sausage Party, which is that for whatever reason, this specific tone of comedy just doesn't get me.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. I don't care about the actual plot. For me, it's more of like the humor in it. I get we're juxtaposing this stop motion kid style. It's sort of like anytime that happens, like there's been a few like this where it's like we're doing a kids movie style, but it's adult. This isn't exactly it, but like 8 Crazy Nights, the Adam Sandler movie. There's something about it that just never works for me. That's not a judgment on the movies. It's more about taste.
Is it the pace of it? Is it because it's always paced down?
I think it honestly might be, and I think it's also because they lean so hard on the juxtaposition.
Yes, that's what it is for me for sure. Because as you're talking about that, it's like crystallizing in my mind. Because I had the same thought about Sausage Party, which is it's the same gag, right? It's a bunch of cutesy looking food that looks like it's in a kids movie, and then it's like really hard R. And that's like the same vibe as this.
That looked funny to me. That one did look funny to me, and I didn't watch it though. So.
It's not. It's just. It's what Dave was describing. It leans really heavily on the juxtaposition, so a lot of jokes are just entirely predicated on it's funny that a cartoon sausage is being like this coarse.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's how I felt about a lot of the jokes here. Is like, isn't it funny that an elf said, "Give him fucking presents"?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? The first F-bomb they drop is like. It's like they wait for laughter and applause.
Right. It's like really limp. It just kind of flops out there. It's like, oh, that's okay.
It's the problem with a lot of edgy humor, which is that if they lean too hard on being edgy, they forget to tell jokes.
Yeah.
Because the joke is, look, we're doing this adult thing. And I think that might be a big part of this. Again, the plot itself seems fun. Like it's a good idea.
It's a standard Christmas plot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's almost honestly like I almost want a kids version of this, which is weird to say. Like I don't know. It just seems
they kind of did. This is kind of the same premise as Noelle, the Disney Plus movie from last year. You remember?
No.
We had to watch it for We Just Watched, Dave.
It's watched it?
Yeah, it's the one with Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader where they're Santa's kids. And Bill Hader's supposed to be the new Santa, but he doesn't want to take over, so he fucks off, and she has to go find him, and then she ends up becoming the new Santa.
Oh,
it's like an identical premise almost.
Yeah.
How often do they do Santa replacement? That is a really...
It's most Christmas movies.
Right.
Yeah,
like most of the big ones that you can think, like the Santa Claus... Nightmare Before Christmas, Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore. I mean, it's I don't know that it's probably not most movies, but like it's a major component of like the big ones that everybody likes.
Yeah, because weirdly enough, there's these universes where Santa isn't immortal, even though like like in the Santa Claus, Santa dies from falling off a roof.
He sure
and it was
does.
like, oh, like how do you handle the lack of
not even a
oxygen
very
while
high
flying
roof.
over? Yeah, it's just like that's really weird for Santa to die that way.
Although I guess
considering that he's fucking magical.
I guess if he was the Santa from I guess if he was like a 78-year-old Santa, like him falling 18 feet flat on his back would just powder his skeleton.
But again, he's magical.
Apparently not. No, not in the Santa Claus. He's not actually magical. It's all of his gear that's magic.
But
right, it's the gear. That's right.
The elves. The elves build him magic gear. He's just some guy.
Right.
That's cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed with the Santa virus.
I think that's my favorite of these kinds of storylines.
That is pretty great.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
The Santa virus, the S virus.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like this movie was targeted for people who aren't who are tired of saccharine Christmas movies. Right?
Right.
That's what it felt like to me.
Sure.
It did not feel like it had any of the sort of sweet vibe that most Christmas movies have.
Right.
Like, it's like, no, we're not doing any of that. Fuck that,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I think like the last big one was Christmas Vacation, right? To like kind of buck that. Does that mean they like tried with like Surviving Christmas with Ben Affleck and James Gandolfini, and that movie's a nightmare. But,
Isn't there
Forgot that movie existed.
What about Bad Santa, a movie I've never seen?
oh sure, yeah, Bad Santa.
Yeah.
So-
I do think this is also a trope.
Yeah.
Like it's Christmas, but it's bad.
Vulgar Christmas. Yeah, it's also a trope. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just this one, the trailer, it reminded me of like the first 5 minutes of Logan where they're just saying fuck every other word because they can.
Right. Yeah. It's just for me it boils down to I didn't find this particularly funny. That doesn't mean because trailers tend to not be funny,
Especially comedy trailers. Yeah, like they
Yeah.
really
Hard time.
tend to suck.
Figuring out how to make it seem funny in a trailer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I don't know.
I went back and watched Dumb and Dumber's trailer a couple months ago for some reason. They didn't have the great jokes in that either. You know, like, maybe they've just never been that good at comedy trailers.
I don't think they have. I really don't.
Because you never want to give away the best jokes, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember I have that Dumb and Dumber trailer memorized because it was on.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
I think the Mask or the Mortal Kombat VHS, one of the two.
It's honest. It's why I don't tend to watch comedies that much because every trailer looks bad to me for comedies. So it's like I'm going in blind every time because sometimes it comes out, sometimes it's really funny, and I'm like, great, but sometimes it is, in fact, what the trailer advertised.
Well,
so that's part of it too.
I think comedy movies have also just not been so great in a pretty long time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we've had like a landmark comedy movie since like what, Bridesmaids or Hangover? You know,
around then.
Yeah.
Feels that way. Yeah, it feels like comedy is shifted to just TV
and the internet.
And the internet. Yeah. I don't know, man. Let's talk about this next one. Speaking of things from the past, this is from the producers of Lost, which I flagged.
Look,
yeah.
Because it
Dave,
looks what
all they needed to do, like this trailer was almost perfect. All they needed to do was at the very end, you see the fucking smoke monster, or just John Locke walks into frame and turns
that
and
would
says,
be
"Hello,
amazing.
Jack." You know, if he just said, "Hello, Jack,"
Looks at the camera with a twinkle in his eye.
Yeah, amused again at Jack's lack of faith. Oh God, that's all I want.
It's just a mystery box.
It's lost again. There's almost nothing different about it. Instead of an island, it's a town.
Yeah,
right?
it's a family of three, mom and dad and a little girl driving in a camper. They get lost. They pull over for directions in a town. The people are kind of mystified. They seem off. So they tell them how to get back to the highway, and they get back to the highway. And no matter how far they drive, they just keep driving through the same town. So it turns out that this town is some sort of magical, inexplicable trap. All of these people arrived there the same way. They got lost and wound up in this town, and now they can't leave. And that's the premise of the show.
And then
Lost.
there's night villains. Yeah.
It's Lost. Oh,
These
there's
shows
monsters.
exhaust
There's some
me.
kind of monsters.
Yeah. Because they're going to stretch this out for as long as they possibly can.
That's the problem with a Lost type show. is that it doesn't end.
Remember, there used to be a lot of these too. Like, do you remember Persons Unknown? A show that might be, for all I know, good because it was created by Christopher McQuarrie in 2010. It has Chadwick Boseman in it.
Oh, wow.
And Alan Ruck. I watched the first episode and I hated it because it's a group of strangers wake up in a deserted town. They don't know where they are, and it's the same mystery box crap, and they can't leave. The reason I shut it off is they wake up in like a hotel, and they can't get out of the hotel, and they barely try to do anything to get out. And then they start like immediately doing like scheming with each other. Like they start like it's that sort of thing where it's like Lost, but without even trying, where they're like, yeah, let's just have the characters start like backstabbing and like giving sweaty exposition in the first 5 minutes. And at the same time, they're still trying to get out of this hotel. And it's like, guys, just try to get out of the hotel first. Like they forget what they're doing to then be a shitty mystery box show, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was a lot of that, and it was just like, oh, this is exhausting.
People forget that Lost's first season was a really great survival drama. Also,
right.
It was really good.
That's, I guess, yeah, that was what it is that Lost, it sort of like, it slowly conditioned you into getting to a place where you forget that the whole point was to get off an island, you know?
Well, until by season 3, we got to go back. And it's like, oh, what a twist.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it is. It was an entire show designed to keep characters in one location for as long as possible, which is what this feels like, right? Is that, like, at the end of season 1, it'll be like, oh, we're getting out. Oh, no, we're not getting out. And it's like, fucking of course you're not. Because you wouldn't have a show otherwise.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a show if you could get out.
That's what Persons Unknown felt like, where it's like they give up on getting out in like the first 10 minutes of the show, and then they're like scheming and doing stuff, and it's like, wow, like you didn't even try, huh?
One good thing about this idea, or I guess one presumably good thing about it, is number one, there's an omnipresent horror element, which was not in Lost. Mm-hmm. They didn't really have horror stuff. They just had,
it slipped in and out when they needed it, but yeah it seems like a more like you're saying, it's a more persistent threat in this trailer, at least.
Yeah,
and they don't have to do 24 episodes. You know what I mean? That's the biggest problem with Lost in hindsight, because I just rewatched the whole series for reasons Dave knows, the thing that stood out to me is like, oh, if this was like 12 episodes or 13 episodes like it would be now, it'd be a fantastic show all the way through.
Right. It really is that, because I was rewatching Star Trek Voyager, which is another show that starts on the premise of where Lost were trying to get home, and then like by like episode 5 they're going on these weird adventures, and it's like, aren't you guys supposed to be getting home? And it's like, look, we got 24 episodes to fill per season. They can't all just be us trying to go home, so we're gonna deviate.
That's why you got to appreciate the BBC, because they never did shit like that.
Yeah,
like they're just like, you get 6 episodes. You know what I mean? Like,
or you get as many episodes as you need.
Right.
No more, no less.
Right. And it's like, that's the right way to do TV. I mean, I get it. I'd love to work on a 24-episode television show. You know what I mean? Because you make more money. I get that. But, like, the show ends up being worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, maybe we'll benefit from that.
All we needed... God, what if we just followed the family in and, like, they pass through a couple of sets of doors, and there at the end is Ben fucking Linus. You lose your mind, Dave, immediately, right? You're immediately hyped on this shit, right?
Fucking Desmond is in a hatch somewhere typing in some numbers.
Oh, shit! Penny, it's 24 Penny.
I really feel like this is... The producers
I'm in the
of Lost
future,
are
Penny.
I'll always love you, Penny. Shit.
I feel
travel
like
through time on my sailboat.
It really feels like the producers of Lost just like realized that there are a new generation of like 20-somethings who don't remember what they did to them, what they like did with Lost, and they can just do it again. just like
wasn't
bum
that
out
long
a whole
ago.
new generation.
It was only like 14, 15 years ago, man.
Oh,
it
fuck,
wasn't even
really?
that long ago. Yeah. Like the first episode of Lost was 2004, I want to say.
Jesus.
Yeah. You know? And that was 6 seasons, 6 of the longest seasons ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Fucking long.
That was back.
Seasons.
That was an hour-long drama back when we were still doing like 22, 23 episode seasons.
Right. This is again. It's I wish this showed the best, but it kind of has the Game of Thrones thing, where it's like, you burnt me, and now I'm not going to start one of your shows again because you could burn me at the last season of your show. You know, like that's what happened to me with Lost. Is like I binge watched it. And then at the end, I was like, "Oh, so I didn't have to watch this. Like you wasted my
so
time.
this is bad, huh?
Yeah, you wasted my time. All right, well, fuck you, Lost. I guess.
Cool. Go back to living my life.
I'm gonna stand up for the few Lostophiles in which I include our
Yeah.
friend Cody, and tell
know.
you because I think he's right about this. It does actually make sense if you go back and add it all up. The execution's not good on everything, but it all does make sense. I think he's right about that, actually.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just not a very good show.
Yeah. Not at the end. There was like 3 good seasons, and then it was like, what are we doing here? Why are we in jumpsuits?
I'll stand up right next to go to bat for that first season is something else.
It's fucking awesome. It's
Yeah,
still
the
awesome.
first 2 seasons actually, but
Yeah.
After that, it's doo doo. Let's
After
move
that,
on.
It's boners.
It's real dirty boners.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck those facts. Let me tell you
No,
right now.
that's a sad fact.
Turning them down.
All right, let's move on to
Not biting those facts asses.
we got some real weird ones here. Last words.
Yes.
Inject this into my veins. A moody drama starring Stellan Skarsgård and Nick Nolte about the
Nick
future of
Nolte?
humanity.
The Tom Waits-iest Nick Nolte you've ever heard.
I thought it was Tom Waits for like the first minute.
Yeah, dude, he just sounds like he's got lung cancer or something. It's really bad.
He sounds like he is lung cancer.
Yeah, he does. And I'm like, I'm here for that. I'm here for it.
But yeah, it's post-apocalyptic. It's people from all different countries of the world coming together to live, and they have no memory of the world before. It seems anyway, or like a very limited memory of the world before. And it's just about like a community of people coming together and rebuilding after the fall. And I don't know, it looks nice.
Here's what I'll say though, is it definitely feels like it's patting itself on the back because they're like, this apocalyptic world, what can save us? Movies. And so they're all watching movies. And
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
movies. And they're like, that's what's bringing us all together. And I'm like, all right, now, settle down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the foundation of language, right? Is storytelling.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, it is a lot like fucking Tyrion getting up and being like, the storytellers must be king. It's like, eat shit, Tyrion.
I think you have to make a minimum of 5 projects before you're allowed to tell make a movie about movie making or movies at all. Like that's to me the hurdle you should have to clear. You got to make 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate how this I just looked it up. This takes place in 2085. And like remember when you'd have a movie like Demolition Man that would be like, yeah, in 20 years from now it's going to be fucking incredible. Like this is now where we're aiming, which bums me out. Hopefully like Demolition Man they aren't going to get it right. But this takes place like soon.
Yeah, absolutely no courage in the art design or anything. Just no fucking courage at all. Like this is why we need to herald people like Rian Johnson, who dared to put like 20 style sombreros and shit on people in the future. In
I
movies
love
like
that
Looper.
shit.
Yeah,
Looper.
it's like,
I loved what he did with Looper.
Yeah,
We were talking about Children of Men. I also like Children of Men because they're like, it's 20 years in the future. What's it going to be? And they're like, it's smog here. There's some better like computers, slightly better computers, not much better. And it's like, yeah, that's probably it.
See, I think those are 2 different things. I think that's like the second example that you mentioned is a filmmaker wisely not biting off too much, like not biting off more than they can chew. And the other one is Rian Johnson just whipping his techno dick out for everyone to see. And I love
Looper.
that.
Yeah, Looper was a combo because they did stuff where it's like there's still old cars, but they have like mods on them.
Yeah,
and
stupid.
then there's like
stupid.
like flying. Yeah, there's like flying jet skis.
Yeah,
and telekinesis. That was the biggest ask of that movie.
I don't know about that, Dave.
I think that's the biggest ask of that movie because it's like I'm going in to be like, all right, it's about time travel. That's fine. And then they're like, by the way, some people have the Force. And it's like, okay, well, you're going to have to actually explain that better. Especially since it doesn't really matter in the movie, if you ask me.
It matters at the very end.
Only a little bit, but yeah.
It matters at the very end because they found the most terrifying child actor you've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Because that kid's unbelievable. I can't believe you're saying the magic in that movie is worse than the Joseph Gordon-Levitt makeup /
or the looping, reason behind the looping.
No, the Bruce Willis impression.
Oh yeah,
They put him in
that's
those
pretty amazing.
contacts with that ridiculous nose.
Yeah, it's also a world where the only people time traveling are doing it to hide bodies, and it's like, well, that's silly.
And like, Jeff Daniels is basically just like a barfly who got promoted.
Yeah,
You know, like it's a pretty fucking good movie.
Yeah, I like that aspect of it. Yeah, but anyway, this movie.
Last words.
Yeah, this film.
This looks fine. It looks kind of like a bummer, but I mean, I don't know.
I
It's
don't
all
know.
indie and
I
shit.
think it looks hopeful. I
have no idea what this movie is.
Yeah,
None. No idea.
Yeah, it's passed through a lot of festivals. You know,
I got a hopeful tone from it. I didn't get like a bleak tone, even though it's the fall of man. But
I mean, I hate to be a prick, but like a movie that has stars of this caliber, that's coasting on festival credits does not inspire me to think it's good.
that is fair.
Because it's
That
like,
is fair.
if you get Nick Nolte in your movie, you're going to get into Sundance or fucking Cannes or whatever, because that's a $10, $15 million movie. So yeah, it's going to get in.
I also I'm also just weary of any movie that is patting itself on the back in terms of movies, because as we've learned in the Oscars, those are movies that tend to go far with critics and festivals,
Yes, they do.
Despite not being that good.
Like The Artist, a movie we all forgot is a movie.
Boy, nothing happened for anyone involved with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
We all instantly forgot it. It was like we got MIB'd the minute we left the theater. It was like,
The Artist to me is like the other. It's the horseshoe theory, where like on one side you have like the new Matrix or Fast and the Furious, anything that's like an action movie that's based off like pew pew and explosions, and that horseshoes all the way to an indie movie that is so indie that it's also a gimmick, because it's just like, ooh, it's a silent film but new, and it's like, yeah, but you can just make movies now that aren't silent. So
now I just want to
say, make a movie, yeah.
As a contrast point to everything we've said so far, I'm just going to say the words "the unbearable weight of massive talent." Because
that's Nicolas Cage's next movie.
Have you seen what that fucking movie's about?
Yeah.
Have you seen what it's about? It looks fucking incredible, Dave.
It's
incredible.
Dave,
it's about Nicolas Cage. He is hired by the CIA to go undercover to stop this drug lord who wants Nicolas Cage to perform at his birthday.
That's so good.
And he's like, he's also Nicolas Cage, like trying to balance his career. Like, it's both things. It's so good.
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be amazing.
It's incredible.
It's coming out in April of 2022, and my God, the world needs some hope.
Yeah, and after that, it's all we're going to be talking about.
I will be.
We can be done with movies after that.
Yeah, that'll be it.
That's the last word.
Take a bow, movie.
Yeah, we've done it. So anyway, that's the trailer for Last Words.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move on
to The Silent Sea. This is people going to the moon, and like bunch of people died, and there's like it almost feels like the Abyss. Like there's a big moon cavern that I don't think the moon has, but I guess I'm wrong. And
somebody hasn't been playing Destiny.
Yeah. What are you talking about? The Hive is there, Dave. That's where the Hive is.
I was thinking you go in there and you find that the moon is actually run by aliens or whatever.
Yeah, they're driving it.
Yeah, this could be a Moonfall tie-in.
Could be a real Moonfall sitch.
Nothing will ever ever dissuade me from thinking until the moment it fucking hits me in the eye sockets that Moonfall will not be incredible. Moonfall is like
That's
my
really great.
A+1. I'm gonna be there immediately to see that movie. Like, it looks fucking awesome. This does not look like that at all to me.
No, this is a series. It's on the Netflix. Apparently, the synopsis is during a perilous 24-hour mission on the moon, space explorers try to receive samples from an abandoned research facility steeped in classified secrets. So, yeah, I'm guessing it's like some sort of moon secret
I think
that
they
fucked up this facility.
Yeah, it's like
and
Total
they're gonna-
Recall on the moon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are filling in so much from this, and I respect you for that. I think this trailer does not deserve to get eyeballs watching the show because we don't know fucking anything about it from it. Like, this trailer gave us nothing other than, like, here's the spacesuits.
Yeah, they gave us the moon, and they're
Nothing.
like, is that enough?
No.
Is it enough to watch the moon?
No, it isn't.
No. I mean, for me it is, but you're right. For people, it shouldn't be.
It's bullshit. This is not a good enough trailer. Not because I'm mad at the concept, because I don't know what it is. And that's the only thing a trailer has to do.
Right.
It's like, what is this about? And I have no idea. Absolutely no
Right.
idea.
It's got Cloud Atlas in it.
What does that mean?
That lady from Cloud Atlas. She's she's the
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think a robot. She's like some sort of robot.
In
Yeah.
Cloud Atlas? Yeah, she was.
Yeah. So that's cool.
That Cloud Atlas connection.
I bet you
Yeah.
I bet you it's a good show. Like, I bet you it really is a good show.
I think you're right
know?
where it's like we really don't know.
Yeah, and
Right.
I just feel like a trailer. I feel like I want to reward trailers that make me excited about the movie. You know?
Right, and all they're offering is the moon. To me, it's yeah. No, I think you're right. As someone who watched the entirety of the show Away, remember Away?
I
with
do,
Hilary
Dave.
Swank?
I
Wow.
remember it because I remember
Dave.
you watched it in its entirety.
Yes. And I watched that just because it's like, hey, look, it's space. And I was like, it is space. Let me check that out. That show,
Was it Hilary Swank in space?
yeah.
Yeah, here's
Hilary
Hilary
S-
Swank in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got canceled after one season, as it should. It was fine, for people who are wondering. That movie, or that show was fine.
Thanks.
Yeah. But it, like, I don't know where I was going with this. I
kind
just
of-
fucking space. It's like,
I
okay.
kind of wish you got everything a year early. Like, I wish all movies and television shows went to you a year early, and people could find out. Like, so Dave, how was it? And like, you'll say fine a whole lot, right?
Yeah, because I'll forgot
You'll
like
have
a lot of
forgotten
it.
and also you'll give like a really like a lukewarm, not endorsement, but just sort of a statement about it.
Yeah. Well, I think there are tiers of things, right? And like Away was like I'm gonna do stuff on my phone while this is on tier, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like sometimes you just need stuff that you don't have to focus on.
Right.
And that was good for that.
That is a lot of shows that are like not of the A tier. They are sort of like, I could be, doing my tax write-offs or whatever.
Right. And
so
there's
I do.
rumors that like Netflix and streaming design movies and shows that way. I'm okay with that as long as they also still do good stuff.
I'm terrified of that idea, but
I know. It's an awful idea.
It's true. I mean, I'm like, meaning it's not. If I was a show network, I think embracing the reality of how people consume stuff is always the right decision.
But it does make
But
for
God.
movies where they're like, make the characters say everything they're thinking out loud because people aren't looking at the screen, you know?
Yeah, long staring into cool looking art department stuff that you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I see it.
All right, I want to talk about this final trailer.
can't
Amityville
wait.
Uprising.
Yeah. This is clearly a completely unrelated movie that they just slapped Amityville on to
Well, I
get
think-
people to watch it.
I think we talked about this in one of our things. There's like 30 Amityville movies.
Yes.
Like they all, and it is what they do is they make a movie. Some producer picks it up and goes, "Can we slap the word Amityville on this?"
And they're
yeah.
like, yes, we can.
This is fantastic. This is exactly what I want trailers to be for movies of this genre. I don't care how acid rain makes you a zombie. I'm grateful that it does.
I don't care.
That's all I care about.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm
so
just
grateful.
content in that. I'm content to munch on that fact's butt.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Just sink my choppers into it. My chompers.
I'm giving that a Southland snuggle. That's for sure. I'm definitely doing that with that fact. So, like,
You guys,
Dave, I'm sorry. Really quickly, can I
Okay,
just
yeah.
compliment the '90s vocal, like VO? Just the '90s VO alone sent me to the moon, where I actually wanted to go.
When it's listing that when the fucking trailer voiceover guy is like announcing the different stars as if they're anyone, and then he gets to Tank Jones, and I fucking flipped out of my chair.
yeah.
Like, just this is what home runs look like. You want to know what a home run looks like? This is a home run. You know?
I want to give you some facts about this.
I'm ready.
The director in 2020 made 4 movies. So this guy, that's what we're talking about. This guy is a business. He's a machine. 2 of the movies he made was the Amityville Harvest and the Amityville Moon. So he knows what he's doing with this series.
All right. So
that-
we have a genuine
that
hero
ends
on
the
our hands.
facts.
This is all those facts are coming back to my place and having a nightcap. All those facts. This man's a hero.
I love that the acid rain in this is just real rain, where they just like shot it. They put like a yellow filter on the whole thing. Like whenever they show
so
someone
it
in
just
the
looks
acid
like
rain,
garbage.
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
so
it just
bad.
looks like someone pissed all over the
This
camera.
looks like trash.
It does. Sometimes the rain also looks fake, which makes me think it probably is fake.
Yeah.
And not
Of
like
course
fake,
it is.
Not fake like they're running a rain machine. Fake like they have a filter passing in front of the screen. Like
Yes.
really bad fake. And I was like, I'm in on that too.
Yeah.
This is very good. Very,
They
very
just
good.
they keep cutting to people screaming in the rain, and then zombies.
Yeah, I'm in. I don't need another minute of this. This thing is a one-stop trip to Schlock City, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go there.
Gonna have to watch the other Amityvilles, including Amityville in the Hood. That's
Oh my god,
that's a movie. I don't understand that. How can a place be in the hood? Like Amityville is a place.
How dare you ask that question? How dare you, as a fan of all the Jason movies? How dare you? Like,
well,
it could
Jason,
be whatever.
because Jason is a physical
Don't
entity
even
that moves
do this,
around.
Dave. Get outta
Amityville,
here.
the Amityville horror is a house.
Dave. No.
I just don't know how that works.
I can't. You'll find out. Watch it, bro. You'll find
Okay.
out. Watch it.
I will watch it.
I'll watch it with you. Come over and we'll watch it.
It might. Oh, it's not out yet. This is another Amityville that's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
That sounds like a Saturday for us, buddies. That sounds like a Saturday.
Wow. Okay, so it's really funny that the Amityvilles have become like the Leprechaun movies, because so the plot of Amityville in the Hood is an East Side gang uses the Amityville property to grow marijuana.
So they're using the hood in a racist way, like in an overtly
Yes, of course
racist
they
way.
are. Of course
Wow.
they are.
Unbelievable.
And then when they're attacked by a rival gang and their drugs stolen, soon it's unleashed on the west side streets of Compton, where anyone who smokes it suffers one killer buzz. It is about haunted weed.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, sign us up. Just put us on the sign-in sheet, Dave. Let's do it.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no more discussion to be had about it. It has to be shoved in our retinas. It has to be.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry, I'm looking at this director, who I want you to know, the director of Amityville in the Hood, directed in 2020. Oh my god. He directed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. He directed 22 films.
Uh-huh. That's
So
a lot.
2020.
He released all
In the
those films.
year. Yes.
Yeah.
God, what a fucking hero. All right. That's all. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't care about any of those movies unless Tank Jones was in them.
I don't
Yeah,
care
that's
about show me the preview with acid rain zombies to any of those, and
then we can talk.
yeah,
Okay.
Then I'm
Then we
taking
can
that
talk about
fact out
something.
on a nice date.
Yeah, then we got a movie going.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go into news stories, but first we have some patrons to thank, starting with Chester's Prophet. Thank you very much. Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro. Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
I need to meet that fucking person. I need that in my life, Tom.
Well, Tom knows him. Thank you to Bob Grenville. Thank you to Steven. Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Woo.
Thank you to Asking Seven. Thank you to Happy Ed 209.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Tiger Drawers Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Turning me into a song. All right. Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Manischewitz Molotov says the spice must flow, comrades.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you to E.T. the Extravagant Terresticle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnson's Time Machine Noise.
Thank
you
you
to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to subscribe to Jason Pargin's Substack.
Thank you.
Woo!
All right. So we already talked about him, but Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula
He is.
in the Renfield movie.
In the Universal Monsters movie Renfield, which is starring Nicholas Hoult as Renfield.
Yeah. I feel like they understood what they needed to do.
Yes.
This is a comedy, by the
Yes,
way.
it's
Yes.
a modern-day adventure story that is comedic in tone. I wrote it down because I was like, oh, so this is going to be pure wonder and delight. Right?
Yes.
How could it be bad?
The only way is if Nicolas Cage isn't in it enough. Pay him whatever he needs to play Dracula. Also, any idea he has, say yes to it, right?
Yeah,
if
just
he's
let
like,
him do
oh, I've been really thinking about this character and I want to do this.
And there's update, not today, yesterday or today, Aquafina is also going to be in it.
Oh,
Right.
That's interesting.
Yep.
It also has been written by fucking Ryan Ridley and Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Ryan
I mean,
Ridley
yeah,
is a writer on Rick and Morty for listeners. And of course, you listeners probably know who Robert Kirkman is.
The character that's the title character is basically like some dope who's being gaslit by Dracula, right?
He's Dracula's thrall.
Yeah.
He's Tom Waits in the
Right.
in the Coppola film.
Yeah, I imagine it's about how he doesn't want to live under his shadow, you know? I'm imagining there's a little Guillermo in What We Do in the Shadows, like aspect dynamic to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, all that's to say, it sounds like we can count on a heavy heaping dose of Nick Cage as Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is no wrong answers here. Like I think I was doubtful when I first heard of this film because I didn't realize what it was.
Yeah, after once Invisible Man hit, they started greenlighting, and they had started greenlighting a bunch of these before that too, but they really kicked into high gear, greenlighting weird one-off kind of not experimental, but like kind of outside the box takes on the different Universal monsters, because obviously Dark Universe wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they realized that wasn't the way to go, and they were right. And I'm glad they figured that out after one movie and not six.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
and
That's true. I mean,
Now-
I don't see much Invisible Man in this decision tree.
No,
Well,
it's more like
no.
one-off movies from like writer-directors who like come to
Right.
them with like, I've got this idea
Right.
for this monster.
Which is
Right,
what
it's-
I want all these franchises to
Yeah,
do ultimately.
yeah.
that's what I was about
Yeah.
to say. Same here. I think that's the best way to do these, where you get a director who's like, "Oh, I have a really good Star Wars idea," and they're like, "Okay, go do it." What style is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be like a noir western. And it's like, all right, do that.
Yeah, fuck
and then
it.
the next person comes along and they're like, I'm going to do a zany Star Wars. They're like, all right, yeah, do that. Like that is way more appealing to me, to take a bunch of different styles and apply it to the same universe and not have to literally connect him, you know?
I mean, it's so weird because like a lot of these franchises now are based on comic books and stuff, and comic books have almost always had that motif as part of its like ethos, right? Is like, let's bring in cool artists and stuff who may see the character slightly differently, and let them do a run. You know, like I don't know, I don't see why
It's a
movies
really-
won't do it.
It's a great way of doing things because
Yeah.
it also means that like oh, if you don't like this one, you might like the next one, because they're all wildly different. We're experimenting, and I hope they never like we've talked about this before with like the Mission Impossibles, where like after like 4 or 5 movies, they're like, all right, well, we're just going to do the same thing now because this works really well. And I hope they don't. I hope if one of them really succeeds, they don't try to like make 6 more of that.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
I agree with the sole exception being this new Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland.
Sure.
Like that, for whatever reason, and maybe I was right with the internet on that. With like, yeah, 6 movies for him. Let him do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Let him do
not?
Uncharted at the same time. I don't give a shit.
Well, I do give a shit about that.
Oh no, put that movie in my veins.
The way it is.
For that movie.
You like it how it is?
I wish they hadn't cast Mark Wahlberg as Sully, but everything else, yes.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes, give it to me.
All right.
Yeah, I also it's
I'm not
like a
stopping it.
Matrix
You can
thing
have
for
it.
me, where it's like, I have the games. I don't give a shit what they do for the movies. Like honestly, I don't think the movie. It's kind of like the Last of Us series, where, well, the fact that it's a series gives me hope there, but like Uncharted feels like it should be a series too, because it was like, I played all the games. It was actually emotional. At the last one.
As I said to you on what I believe was a one-upsmanship, I think that most Uncharteds are too long. I don't think they should be a series.
think that's
I think they should be a single movie, because that's the scale of those kinds of stories, and I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think that checks out. Some of the game, I have reached that point playing most of the games, yeah. But we're talking about Dracula.
Sorry.
No, yeah, that's true. But yeah, they could make a bunch of Uncharteds, I think, like Indiana Jones's. All right, well, are we done talking about Dracula? I think all
so.
agree.
Yeah, just given that this is just gonna fucking rule.
It's unruinable. Unruinable. Like,
It really is. Like,
Yeah.
What that offer cannot possibly backfire. Like,
yeah. If
it's
it's
great.
good, it's like, holy shit, it's good. And if it's bad, it's like, oh yeah,
it's
like,
gonna be fascinating.
Yeah.
So it's like either way. Like, there's no way Nicolas Cage is gonna approach Dracula and not do something incredible.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage is joy insurance.
Yeah,
Like, you're getting paid out one way or the other in joy. Like, I love it.
because he's regardless of the quality of the movie around him, he's always Nicolas Cage. Like, you paid for the cage, you're gonna get him.
Damn right you are.
Yeah, he's coming at you.
It's very exciting. All right, other news story. Tom Cruise continues his quest to die on camera.
The photos look so funny.
Am I going to turn 100 years old by saying, like, I'm just like worried about him now a little bit?
No,
You know
I
what I
kind of am too, but not
I'm like-
really. Like,
So
it-
this
I
is
know he's really athletic and talented. Like, I get that he really is athletic and talented, and like he's worked hard his whole life, and I love that he's so committed to this. I think it's really cool. But also, like, Tom Cruise, you're old, man.
I want to
Like,
explain what the
don't
actual
die.
thing is.
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Please do.
This is from the new Mission Impossible. If people know, they always have a stunt. This is Mission Impossible 8. He has been spotted flying a plane, a biplane, like an old-timey biplane, climbing out onto the wing, dangling upside down, in which the plane then flips on its belly, leaving him right side up, and then the pilot goes into a nosedive, in like a spinning nosedive, and Cruise has to make his way back into the cockpit. I assume it's like a fight, like that's happening. I mean, this is no different than like old-timey movie making, for them, sort of. I mean, I am worried, but I am glad that this is happening. I'm glad that Tom Cruise is doing this shit.
It is related to like Buster Keaton being like, okay, I got to stand right here when that wall falls.
This is just his retirement. Like, this is Will Smith's documentary about seeing the world. It's just Tom Cruise being like, I'm gonna have a studio pay for me to do stuff that I want to do, right?
I mean, I guess so. We haven't even seen Mission Impossible 7, so the fact that he's training for Mission Impossible 8, I think is part of the equation for why this upsets me a little bit. Because it's like, dude, you are putting your life at risk for the next movie that doesn't even exist yet. And
like we don't know if people are going to like this next one. I mean, odds
I don't
are
think it
they will
matters.
because they've all done well, but like...
I mean,
yeah, I don't think it matters.
Like, I just want him to have the Burt Reynolds and Boogie Nights role. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to have that moment where, like, he's transitioned into being an older actor who does cool.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like we need to see another Frank T.J. Mackey.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I do miss actor Tom Cruise. Absolutely. But I do think at a certain point, if an actor has earned it, they can just do whatever the fuck they want. And this is clearly what he wants, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sure. Absolutely.
he just wants to. He's basically just does a Mission Impossible every year, and that's it. It's like his, I don't know, Call of Duty, you know, where he's just like, you get one every year, nothing else. It's going to be huge, and then you move on to the next one, and that's it.
I mean, it's also that franchise somehow is actually a little underappreciated because, like, it's pretty dependable for a high octane.
That's true. That's
yearly
true.
action franchise.
It's also it's one of the last like places where you can see really good legitimate stunts, you know? Like stuff like stunts instead of getting replaced with CGI should just get better because of new technology, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's sort of the same with like animatronics where it's like we replaced it and it's like no, why not make like better animatronics? Wouldn't that be fun? So it's nice to see stunts done with this budget, you know, where he's going to space for a movie, which I assume is going to be a Mission Impossible, right?
I think it's unrelated. It's a something he's writing with Doug Liman.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
It's a Doug Liman joint.
He's gonna be 60 when he pulls off this stunt,
Yeah.
you know, or thereabouts.
You should.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Listeners should find the pictures on Twitter, or I think it's in all the entertainment websites now too. But they look very, very funny. It's just Tom Cruise
Right.
strapped to the wing of a biplane, like fucking Wright brothers.
With a helmet, wearing like a skin-colored bodysuit, like he's fucking Tobias from Arrested Development or something. It's very weird.
That's incredible.
It really is. Yeah.
Speaking of skin suits,
Always.
Yeah. Speaking of
Magic-
that, yeah.
Magic Mike 3 is happening.
Oh hell yeah, it is.
Can I briefly comment on the picture they got of Steven Soderbergh for this article? I mean, so this article's from Deadline. For those of you who want to look for it, Steven Soderbergh looks like an angry Sherlock Holmes doing a bit.
Yes. He looks like an old-timey producer.
That is the headshot that they will send you. I'm positive this is the picture they got from his people, and they were like, use this picture.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
He's like
Soderbergh-
snarling at it.
It's so good.
Soderbergh doesn't care, right? Like
This
that's
is-
his
That's
whole
what's
thing.
so good about him. Yeah.
I didn't learn this about him until I started working for Collider, that he's like kind of a nut. Like he's very
Yeah.
eccentric, and he does these like crazy things just because he can. Like he
feels
he
like-
sat down for an interview just wearing the racing suit from Logan Lucky
Yeah.
just because he
He's
wanted
like-
to.
He's like, I don't know, like the Neo of the Hollywood world where he just hacks it. Because he can make an Ocean's 11 and make studios all the money in the world, or he can go shoot something on an iPhone and just be like, yeah, everybody fuck off, I'm going to go do this.
Which is like
Yeah.
literally what he did. He made Ocean's 11, and then he
Yeah.
made a video on like an XL1 called Full Frontal with one of the best casts ever, and it's a nightmare.
yeah,
like,
he doesn't
yeah.
care. He's
No.
He also did
he's
like
just having fun.
he was ahead. He was like ahead of the curve on this streaming and theatrical windows because he did that movie. What was it called? Bubble, where it came out simultaneously on video and in theaters.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's a guy who's really interested in like fooling around with the format. And I
Yeah,
don't
the
mean
format itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't-
like he's always been interested in that. His first movie was Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which is about the format. He's
Right.
always been interested in it.
I don't think movies are precious to him. I
No.
think he understands that they're entertainment, and Magic Mike is a great example of that, where it's just like, yeah, we're just having fun. Like I got Taters here. He's stripping. He's dancing. We're having a good time. Is it a movie? Sorta.
I think
Doesn't
he does.
matter.
He's one of those rare directors who does understand how to commit fully to a movie that is just for fun.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to do that. But he has a really high view of movies as an art form. I mean, like all of his interviews suggest that, and some of his film catalog suggests it. He's really talented, man. There's not a lot of directors as widely capable as he is.
He's great.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a kook. He's a little kooky guy.
Yeah, I mean,
He's a little weirdo.
I don't care about Magic Mike, but I'm not opposed to it, right? I mean,
I really
sure.
like Magic Mike.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I enjoy the Magic Mikes.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'm excited for this one. It's called Magic Mike's Last Dance, which honestly doesn't mean it's the last Magic Mike.
Of course
No.
not. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, not in the filmiverse that we're all living in, right? Like, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say I started really liking Channing Tatum after those emails were released. Like after those hack emails were released, and he was the one that was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like he just kept sending like bro-ish emails.
I
to
also
studio
like Channing
heads.
Tatum.
I
Yeah.
was in on it. Yeah, I liked him after that.
He and I like that. Like, yeah, he's I don't know. He did fucking Foxcatcher, and it's like Jesus.
Yeah.
Does like these dark, serious things, and then he'll do like fucking fun. And I don't know.
They don't do that ridiculous Wachowski movie where he's an elf, basically.
Oh man, I almost said Chaos Walking. That's not what it's called. That's a different
No.
one. Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, he's basically
Or
like
he'll be in a Tarantino.
Yeah, that's right. He does
Yeah.
just kind of pop up in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he'll be in Dog, which we talked about earlier. The one where he just hangs out with a dog.
He had
That's
a great dance number in Hail Caesar. Mm-hmm. He had a really good dance number in that.
He's pretty fun in Hail Caesar.
He really is. Yeah.
He reminds me of like a golden retriever, where it's that every filmmaker is like, "Oh, come over here, I want you." Like he's in everything. He's in like high caliber movies with like really good directors. Just everybody is like, "Oh, we got to get Channing Tatum. Look at him. Look at him."
Is this his big franchise? Like this is what he goes
The
down
Magic
in history
Mikes?
for? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
would,
so.
I would say so. This and like the 21 Jump Street, but I don't think they're doing any more of those.
For now.
Now.
I want to see him like I want somebody to throw him a Bourne or something. You know?
Yeah, fuck it.
I want to see it. Like I'm ready for that. Or like, you know, some like I don't know, lifeguard secret agents, you know? Call me up, Hollywood.
So apparently one of his first roles, wait a second. Yeah, was in 2005's War of the Worlds.
Oh, really?
He was in the Spielberg film.
That was a really weird film.
It's like a background actor. That's just funny to me.
It was part of Spielberg's 9/11 trilogy in the in the aughts.
Yeah, I didn't like any of those movies. Now that I think
I like Munich. I like Munich.
All right, well, let's talk about Munich someday.
Okay.
'Cause let's talk about it someday.
We'll talk about it someday. Yeah.
All right. For now, we're going to thank some more patrons.
Yeah, let's do that.
Big thank you to the Midnight Patron with Patrons at Midnight. Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Woo.
Thank you to Andrew, McAndrew, Howe, Guire, Howe.
Yeah,
Thank
bits.
you to Thank you to Vincent. Thank you to Rev MD. Thank you to Lauren Gucci. Thank you to Bootler Boodleson. Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to
Track.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Ew.
Thank you to
that's a good
Norm from Cheers.
Norm.
Thank you to Space McNulty.
Ah, man, it's where McNulty belongs.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yes, he does. He can really solve some fucking crimes up there.
Yeah. Put him in space. What are we doing? Let me jump in here. Thanks to Oh Great, It's That Guy.
Thanks
to Nolan Mayton.
Thank
you
you.
to Andrew. Follow Marina on Twitch and Patreon at HeartFistBrain McGuire.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank
you to the Ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Thank
you to Funky J.
Thank
and
you.
thank you to Pie Guy.
Thank you.
Always thank Pie Guy.
Ah, man, Adam, I kind of like War of the Worlds, too.
Do you
I do
really?
too.
Yeah.
Fucking what? Okay, like you're gonna do a Spiel Boys, right?
We're gonna do Spiel Boys on all.
Am I excluded from Spiel Boys? Can I?
I don't know.
I
don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's up to you. Well, my only demand is that I would like to sing the intro if I'm going to be on it.
Hell yes, yeah. No, we'll definitely get you on at the very least. You can sing the intro.
Sing that intro. I love it so much.
It is the best podcast intro ever.
God, I've listened to it like 50 times. I fucking love it so much. I do. I love it so much. It just like warms my fucking heart. I listen to your individual voices. I'm like, look at them. That's so good. Anyway,
Look at these beautiful boys.
Yeah. You are beautiful boys.
We'll have you on Munich or War of the Worlds. I think. I think we can
Cool.
figure out a way to have guests on it. But
all good.
Before I forget, Dave.
What?
Dave.
What is this?
David, are you sitting down?
No, never.
Yeah, you record standing up, as everybody knows. Dave
does.
records wearing a pair of gravity boots,
Yes, or
Sure.
like
stretching
Michael
on one of those
Keaton
balls.
and Batman.
Yeah, stretching on one of those balls sometimes. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
This fucking movie. Holy shit.
So this is coming out on VOD January 6th. This is called King Car. This is so you're right, Tom. I saw your note. This is being compared to Tan. And I know why it is, but this actually came out before that movie. This is about a young boy who learns that he can talk to cars.
Yes.
He grows up and works at a taxi company with, I think, like his father's company, and their country has this law where like cars over 15 years old have to be like thrown out because of safety laws.
It's Logan's Run for cars.
Yes. This is a Brazilian indie sci-fi film, by the way. And so they start. He doesn't want to throw away the cars because he talks to them, and he's friends with the car that saved his life when he was a kid. And so they start like converting the cars into futuristic vehicles that can also speak. And the part that like popped out is that he then leads, or someone leads, the old cars into a fascist revolution.
Well,
So that's the movie, apparently.
I feel like they shouldn't have dropped that fact. Like they shouldn't
Yes.
have dropped. They should not have dropped the fascist revolution fact, because I think that ruins the movie to know that.
Yeah, it's apparently the new vehicle, like the new version of the car that saved his life, declares itself the king of cars. It apparently seduces a woman. So there might be some car sex. So that's good. But yeah, it's talking cars, maybe taking over the country. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
It seems like it's ultimately going to lead to our protagonist rejecting the car he loves, right?
Yeah, probably having to fight back against
Yeah.
his
Gonna have
fascist
to
car.
choose between humanity and his love for this car.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, the car's gone too far and so on, right?
yeah.
Okay, I know you're not gonna agree with me. This movie will never not be funny. I don't care what they decide. It's a little funny.
Of course.
Well, I don't think they know that. I am not sure they know that it's funny.
They might know it's funny, and I think they're just playing it real straight, because the trailer is not a comedy. This is not
Right.
presented like a comedy. But like, I would say like there are certain movies like Her. Her is a movie that plays it straight, but like probably knows it's being a little funny, right?
It lets you laugh at times.
Yeah.
It gives you overt laughs somewhat regularly, so that you don't stop investing in the premise.
Right. Surely this movie knows what it is.
It's really not that far from Rubber. You know what I
No,
mean?
and Rubber knew what it was, though.
Rubber absolutely knew what it was. I'm worried this one doesn't know that it's Rubber.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my fear.
It's only one way to find out.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, you gotta. The trailer is out right now. King Car. It's exactly what I said. I don't know what else to tell you.
So, can I ask you this one philosophical question? Do you ever get suspicious about films that are marketing revolution as the plot? Does that ever make you, or as the narrative arc? Do you ever get your eyebrows raised?
It's a very common plot.
It
what
is.
was that one about the dogs? The dog revolution?
Wasn't that a Wes Anderson Isle of Dogs?
No. someone screaming at it. It had the word God in the title. I know that.
I have like vague memory of that, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I never. White God. It's there's been similar films, I think.
100%.
Where it's like this weirdness plus revolution. So what is your suspicion?
Yeah, why does it make you suspicious?
I get suspicious because my antenna is always up for what I'm going to call the Kylie Jenner Pepsi commercial problem.
Yeah.
Which, basically anytime somebody releases a plot that's about what I think is an actual important social justice cause and is turning a profit on it, I just get a little eyebrow raisy. I'm picking this movie because I think this movie is not guilty of that. You know?
Yeah, this strikes me more as like maybe a sorry to bother you situation.
I think
where you're like, oh, didn't know that was going to be a part of this. You know,
right.
like
I think it could be like perfectly innocent and also perfectly, like a good plot element here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But also like it has the potential for sort of being flippant about revolutionary stuff for the sake of capitalizing on people's feelings right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a thing I don't want to pick
on
this
no,
movie
that
and
is
say
definitely
that's
something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I think some people who are upset about the Santa Inc. had some suspicions about that too, but it was kind of mixed with a bunch of shit that is shitty. So I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to dive too much into that.
Yeah, that feels like that is like it almost feels like the Gamergate thing where they start with like, no, we're just concerned, we just think this, and then it goes all the way to like, oh, okay, I see what this is actually about.
Right.
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
I'm just suspicious of it.
It's definitely something that can be utilized. The idea of a revolution is, kind of big right now. But I agree with you that this movie doesn't seem like that's what it is. It's hard because it is, I think it's political to its area. Like, that's the thing, is I think there's political, but it's probably stuff that's universal, but maybe we don't fully understand either.
I think like City of God was political to its era and its location, and that felt very like authentic.
Right.
And I'm not here to say you can't make a satirical political thing or anything like that. I'm just saying that, I'm just trying to also be aware of like these causes matter. I don't want to just be a person who pays money to people that agree with me or, play the fiddle or whatever.
It's a line you got to walk. It's actually, without spoiling the movie, next Monday's We Just Watched is about a movie like that has to walk this very specific line, and whether or not it can accomplish that. It's hard because you don't want to feel like you're just using buzzwords to just make money, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. This movie just propped that up because I thought it was so wacky that that it went that direction that like my antenna was up. But I'm not accusing it of that. I'm just mentioning it. Yeah,
we are in a time where people are having relationships with cars. And then there's that movie about the woman who fucks an amusement park ride. Like, there's a lot of this going around.
Oh, yeah. What was that called? Oil?
I think so.
That's an amazing name. Like, really? Wow.
I think it was called that. We don't...
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of just people fucking things that aren't other people.
Well,
and I'm into it.
Right.
Like facts, like fucking facts.
Yeah, I mean, right. Like, I'm not the only one, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, who among us?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to throw the first stone? I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
We're all sorry.
I really am sorry.
Yeah. So the King Car.
I think it looks great. I'm gonna watch it for sure.
I think it looks interesting.
It looks pretty. Yeah, it looks pretty outside the box.
Yeah.
I don't understand the comparisons to Titane. That's like a extremely, extremely superficial comparison. So if you're seeing that, and you've seen Titane or however we pronounce it, I forget.
Well, you understand where the comparison.
I understand where it's coming from, but I just wanted to say, don't put any stock into that because the trailer does nothing like Titane.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like it.
No.
The only similarity is someone seems to fuck a car.
I just want to read this sentence about this film because this also got me very excited about it. Uno, who's the name of the main character, and his uncle Zay, I'm not going to read that, a longtime junkyard denizen and recreational pole dancer who denies that the human species is natural, remodel the talking car into a fabulous retro-futurist style. That's enough for me to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Hell
What an
yes.
So that's what we're
logline.
dealing with, folks.
Yeah, that's what we got going on with this motion picture.
Recreational pole dancer who denies the human species is natural. Incredible.
Yeah.
What a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a real Tank Jones.
Well, you really like Tank Jones. That really got to you.
That really tickled me.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that's a sode. We've done it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we have.
Woo!
Holy
We
shit.
fucking did it.
We did it so
minimal
hard.
Hemming. Minimal hemming and minimal hawing, you know?
Yeah.
But some.
But some. I mean, yeah.
Never zero.
Never zero.
Never a full zero. Adam, thank you so much for hemming and hawing with us.
I mean,
Yeah.
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Love you guys.
Do you want to say anything to the world?
Yes.
Do you have a
it's
message?
What do you
finally
want to tell
time-
these sons of bitches?
It's finally time that I acknowledge that I have a podcast called One-Upsmanship that you can listen to on the Small Beans Network through our Patreon at Small Beans. I have a couple others, including Director Piece Theater with my buddy Abe, and also I'll show you mine if you show me yours with Maggie. And, that's it for now. That's all I got
Okay.
for now. Yeah.
Good job.
Hell yeah. Nice and
Hell yeah.
brief.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I'll tell people we have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. For $5 a month, you get some exclusive podcasts on there, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys.
Yeah.
Those are all
my
on
God.
there.
Love Spiel Boys.
Yeah,
thanks,
we
buddy.
love Spiel Boys.
Love it.
We also watch movies with our patrons every Friday night, Dave.
That's true.
Oh,
Which
man.
is tonight.
That is tonight. That's as you were listening to this. Who knows what we'll watch? We also have a store. Head over to GameFullyUnemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on T-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of shit. So check that out, you dinks.
Yeah, you dinks.
You friggin' dinks.
You dinks.
They really are dinks.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
like in a good way. Like I say
Yeah,
it
in a
with
heartfelt
love.
way.
Yeah.
Not like tinks in Borderlands 3. I don't think you can say
Sounds
that
like a
word.
slur.
It
Yeah.
really does. I don't think you'd say that nicely.
Yeah.
I really don't. Yeah.
Man. All right. I think that's all.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.